have a break in the case of a double in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail.
As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless.
The prosecutors just filed their final paperwork to try and secure Melly a life sentence, starting with strategically dropping his witness tampering charges. News outlets reported Melly will no longer go to trial for witness tampering after prosecutors dropped the charges. His trial was scheduled for January 21st, but during a hearing on January 20th, prosecutors dropped the case. Many say this move is part of the Fed's plan to target Melly. His lawyer responded, saying, "We now look forward to seeking Melly's release from custody, where he has been held under extraordinarily restricted conditions for far too long based on premises the state has now abandoned. His release will allow him to fully and meaningfully participate in preparing his defense in the forthcoming proceedings, which we intend to litigate vigorously." Meanwhile, Drew will use evidence from the case to show the judge how concerned prosecutors are about going to trial. The feds also had Melly's ex-girlfriend lined up as a witness, having first arrested her after she returned to the United States, positioning her to testify against him.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
The feds have been trying for years to get her to come forward, and now that she has, their case has become much stronger. Despite this, the public still celebrated Melly having the witness tampering charges dropped. His mother wrote, "God is good and he hears your prayers," while 50 Cent commented, "Drew Findling is a bad man, beating all these cases." However, there's a clear reason the feds dropped the case so easily, as revealed in a 5-page memo. Prosecutors wanted to avoid jeopardizing evidence in his pending double murder trial. The state moved to drop the case because suppression of jail calls remains unresolved, risking the loss of critical evidence needed for the 2027 trial. Prosecutors had charged Melly with witness tampering and gang-related offenses tied to efforts to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from testifying in his double murder case. Financial records show Hamilton received over $31,000 from Melly's management company and associates, plus help purchasing a Mercedes, despite having no reported income. Jail calls, surveillance video, and inmate notes indicate Melly directed a relay system through inmates James Howard and Terrence Mathis to pass messages outside jail after losing phone privileges. Later, court files revealed recorded calls and messages instructed associates, including co-defendant Bortland, to keep Hamilton away from court using coded language and nicknames. This scheme had already been exposed 2 years ago by YNW Melly's father during an interview.
It's this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
But this move was smart for the feds, as it gives Melly a false sense of security in his cases. They also want to save Mariah's testimony for the case that really matters, the upcoming double murder trial. It's not just his ex-girlfriend testifying. Melly's best friend and former co-defendant Bortland has already given information to the feds after taking a plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means he's talking. Bortland's sentence is for accessory after the fact. 6 more years in prison plus 6 years of probation after getting credit for time served. Legal experts explain the deal further, noting that by pleading no contest, Bortland must provide a factual basis for the plea. He has to recount the full story of how the crime happened and his role as an accessory. It's essentially a gunner plea, but with the proffer, he can't just answer, "Yes, ma'am." He has to lay out the details, essentially singing the facts like Franklin.
Out saying people are upset. I said, this is a gunner plea. This is a gunner plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gunner plea. Why do I say he signed a gunner plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide. with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, what that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know there was, and then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
Even a lawyer reviewing Bortland's plea deal confirmed that he will snitch on Melly.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
She continued in the interview, saying how terrible she feels for everything Melly has had to endure.
My son has not been convicted of anything. And even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
The lawsuit sparked reactions in the music industry, with Charleston White saying Melly deserves a harsh treatment he's been receiving.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Even rapper Boozy expressed sympathy, saying he feels bad for the stress Melly's mother has had to endure.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
While deciding whether Melly should be granted bond, the judge requested input from both sides. This led prosecutors to reveal messages Melly sent admitting to the crime just hours after it happened.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
They also noted that Melly was dancing and acting happy the day after his two best friends were killed.
PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
However, prosecutors captured video of Melly unaware that he was being filmed 30 minutes before the crime, showing him getting into the back left seat of the car. Court files stated, the direction of the rounds traveling from left to right in the car supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned. Even Juby's mother confirmed Melly got into the back left seat.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Melly's lawyers counter with evidence raising doubt about his responsibility, highlighting that detectives couldn't identify the firearm used, nor did they find the weapon responsible for crime.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
They also presented paperwork found in Bortland's home, which led to his arrest.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
It was reported images of notes discovered during the raid at Bortland's home detailed where jurors were seated in the courtroom, along with descriptions of each, suggesting potential juror tampering.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
With Bortland now cooperating for a reduced sentence, prosecutors can question him fully about the night of the crime, including why rapper Fredo Bang picked up Melly from the scene and Chris Thomas's involvement.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
The feds are now focusing on a Facebook post showing Melly with Young Thug, claiming it proves he is affiliated with the Red Street team, the same group Young Thug is connected to. Authorities argue that this link suggests Melly has deeper ties to gang activity and could have influence over criminal operations beyond his personal actions. The post is now being used as part of their broader case strategy, raising questions about how social media evidence is being interpreted in serious criminal